I've seen Dr. Bolsewicz talk about adding cinnamon, ginger, and turmeric to his oatmeal. And I've also seen videos all over YouTube talking about arsenic and all kinds of problems. How do we have any idea what we're doing when we go to the market to buy some of these ingredients? That's one question. And the other is, there seems to be a great controversy about EPA and DHA. And the issue seems to be that there are some studies that show increased risk of prostate cancer from supplementation. So that's the question, should we be taking this, not taking this, or how do we have any idea what the right thing to do is?
Well, thank you so much, Joel, for your wonderful, kind comments and for your great questions. These are very, very good questions. And I love herbs and spices, and cinnamon and turmeric have been shown to have all sorts of anti-inflammatory properties. That's why I include herbs and spices in my list. So incorporate those. That's fabulous, and enjoy them and however you enjoy them. And it's great in oats, great in however you like to do it. There's no perfect way to do it. And because we don't know exactly, right? We don't know exactly all those things, like how much arsenic is in this dose of rice. So what I suggest, because we don't know exactly, we're not measuring because we're all getting our sources from different places and we mix and match, and every day is a little bit different. I just say mix and match. And like, for instance, I'll buy rice from one company and the next time I'll buy it from a different company. Or I won't do rice every day and I won't do spinach every day. I mix and match the different things. So you get a combination of those things, and hopefully overall it works out. But like, we really aren't going to know exactly, and we can't. And how much do you want to worry about? Because stress is also not good for us. So we don't want to stress too much. So I would say variety is really important, and try it all and limit and mix it up. That's the only way I really know how to answer that, because I don't know how to make it perfect. I wish I did. In terms of the omega-3s, we don't know. So I haven't even seen the literature on increased risk for prostate cancer. I would love to see that. So I will dig into that. But we don't know. So most of us are just we've kind of all talked together, we conspire together. And so what we have kind of come to is just, I have my clients supplement a few times a week, sometimes, like 3 or 4 times a week. And then it's kind of like a moderation approach. I know there's no such thing as moderation really, but it's, when I was in grad school, my favorite professor always said, balance, variety, and moderation. Balance, variety, and moderation. And it's a good tenet to live by, because we can't be perfect. And that's just what I do, is just try to mix it up and just be mindful and keep looking at the literature and keep looking at things. And if you're eating a little bit different every day, then you're going to be the best sum of those different parts.
Thank you so much for that, Julieanna. Up next, we have, Annette M. Annette, I'm going to unmute you. Hi, Annette.
Hi. Well, that was a great presentation. Thank you. I have a couple of questions related to lemon. I've been on my plant-based journey for almost a year. It'll be a year in May. And when I started that, I've been using lemons on my salad every day. And a couple of weeks ago, we started drinking lemon water in the morning with half of a fresh squeezed lemon in our water. And my 2 questions are, one, is all this lemon going to be bad for my teeth? Because I want to keep my teeth great and I'm a little concerned. And the second one is there any real benefit to having the lemon water as far as releasing toxins and aiding in your digestion?
Oh, Annette, thank you for those questions. And it's a very important question, because yes, that is very risky on your teeth, and it does degrade the enamel. And that's one of the pitfalls of a very raw diet, is all like the very high fruit diet, is the risk on the enamel. So it is an issue. And maybe use a straw with your lemon water if you want to try to avoid your teeth, but it can be an issue. So you need to be careful with it. You're supposed to rinse with water afterwards and not necessarily brush. I've heard that before, but I would talk to your dentist about that. But the question is, do you need to have all that lemon? I mean, it's great, got all that vitamin C. And when you put it over a salad, it's going to help you absorb some of the iron, which is wonderful. But do you need all of that as lemon water? I like to think, I don't think we detoxify. We do. Our bodies are made to detoxify. Our bodies are brilliant. We try to micromanage our bodies, but our bodies are way more brilliant than we give it credit for. And we have our skin, and we have our liver, and we have our kidneys, and those are organs of detoxification. So, like I said, my very last sentence was that if left alone, our bodies will heal itself. That means not bombarding our body with animal products, highly processed foods, cigarette smoke, too much alcohol, too much of anything, chemicals. I always think of it like the bucket theory. I was taught this when I was a kid by an immunologist when I went to talk about my allergies. And it's this idea of a bucket. And we fill our, we can't avoid everything, right? We live in this world. We can't be in a bubble. When I became a mom, all I wanted to do was put my children in a bubble because I was so freaked out by all the stuff I learned about what's in our environment. But there's toxins in our air, in our water, everywhere. There are toxins and pollutants and viruses and bacteria and microbes and there are stuff everywhere. And so what are you going to do with that, right? You can only do so much. So you do your best. And so when you remove what you can, and when you flood yourself with the good stuff, that is how you enable your body to detoxify maximally, optimally. There is no perfect. And so I would say, be careful of your teeth. I don't think there is no superfood that's going to cure everything. It's a preponderance of what you do. It's a preponderance of what you avoid and what you include that makes you who you are for long-term health. And so don't worry about being perfect, and congratulations on starting a plant-based diet. That's, I think, the best thing you could do for yourself overall. And it doesn't have to be one superfood or all these foods. Keep it simple. And if that's going to hurt your teeth, then, maybe just have it once a day or just have it in your salad. But I don't think it's going to be a magic cure-all to anything.
Thanks very much for that, Julieanna. Up next, we have Stephanie P. I'm going to unmute you. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome.
Hi, Julieanna. Thanks for taking the time to answer our questions. I just was interested in getting your take on intermittent fasting, because I'm just new back to being vegan again, and I'm still trying to, get some excess weight off to get healthy. And I noticed in your presentation, you had a lot of foods that you have to kind of get in every day to be balanced. And I find when I do a feeding window, it's harder to get like all the nutrients in because you have less time to eat. So I don't know what's more important, getting everything in or kind of doing the fasting to aid weight loss. What's your take on that?
Thank you, Stephanie. I love this question. And I'm going to do a talk called The Choose You Now Diet based on my book, The Choose You Now Diet. I'm not going to pull it up, but my Choose You Now Diet book is all about this. And I use 3 components for weight loss. It's like a weight loss specific book. This is what I do with my clients. And my clients predictably lose 0.4 to 0.8 pounds a day of body fat, predictably. And so there's a lot to unpack with what you said. So first, the weight loss part. Yes, you can do that. And when you're on a weight loss, when you're losing weight, you need to separate nutritional optimization. So take a period of time, focus on the weight loss, and then get back to optimizing, getting all the 6 daily threes and just making your nutrition more perfect. You have to create a deficit during weight loss. So I'm going to dive into that in my next talk. And that's what my book is about. It talks all about that. In terms of time restricted feeding, that is one of the components I use. So I use 3 components for weight loss with my clients: whole food plant-based diet, of course, time restricted eating, and mindfulness techniques. So I'm going to dive into all of that. But because you're asking about the time restricted feeding, I love time restricted feeding, not only for weight loss, but there are so many advantages coming out of the literature for eating on a restricted time window. I mean, most of us eat from the moment we wake up until the moment we go to bed, and we don't give ourselves any time off from the fed state. So I highly recommend that. I'm going to talk more about that next week. But it's really healthy. And so you don't have to get all of the nutrients all of the day, all day, every single day. It doesn't have to be perfect, but prioritize those 6 daily threes. Eat within a fasted window. I do. I love to eat 1 meal a day. Sometimes I do 2. And if someone would have told me this 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I would have thought that was insane because I eat the 6 meals a day as a personal trainer. But I eat 1 or 2 meals a day, and I keep it within a 4 to 6 hour window. If I do 2 meals, I have my clients do that as well. The time you have off from eating, because eating is so labor intensive for the body, and it just shunts so much blood and energy and time into digesting and absorbing. If you have that time off, you get to get rid of cancer cells and microbes and there's just all this wonderful things that can take place when you're not eating. So I highly recommend time restricted feeding long-term, not just for weight loss, but for overall health. And it's a way to implement the benefits that we see in fasting in a day-to-day basis in the least painful way. It's hard to go for me, it's hard to go 3 days without eating. I know a lot of people love it and it's great. I think it's wonderful, but this is a way to do it on a daily basis where you take time off, your body can do all that wonderful healing and health promoting stuff. And then you could enjoy still a nutritionally dense meal. And then when you're eating like that, every bite matters. So you have less room for those treat foods, and that's okay because we don't need those treat foods anyway. So it's a great practice. I highly recommend it.